It was past midnight when Dr. Claire Monroe finished her rounds at St. Vincent's Hospital. The staff was sparse, the halls dimly lit, and the constant hum of machines created an oppressive atmosphere. Claire was used to the eerie quiet of night shifts, but something about this particular night felt wrong. The elevator dinged as she stepped in to head back to the ground floor. She pressed the button for the lobby, but instead of descending, the elevator lurched and began to climb. The light above the doors flickered between floors, and Claire frowned. The hospital only had 6 floors, but the display ticked up. 5, 6, 7. Her stomach tightened as the doors opened with a soft ding. Beyond the threshold was a long, dimly lit corridor. The walls were stained, the tiles cracked, and the air was heavy with the coppery tang of blood. Claire had worked at St. Vincent's for years. There was no 7th floor. "Hello," she called, stepping out cautiously. The air felt wrong, like the pressure had shifted, making it harder to breathe. As she moved down the hall, her shoes echoed unnaturally loud. The rooms were numbered, but the sequence made no sense. 701, 666, 13,000, each door slightly ajar, revealing glimpses of the impossible. In one room, a patient lay on the bed, their face covered by a sheet. The heart monitor showed a flat line, yet the chest beneath the sheet arose and fell as if breathing. In another, a shadowy figure stood in the corner, its back to the door. When Claire moved to leave, the figure turned slowly, its face featureless but somehow watching her. Panicking, she turned to run back to the elevator, but the hallway seemed to stretch endlessly. The fluorescent lights overhead flickered, and she heard footsteps echoing behind her. "Who's there?" she demanded, her voice shaking. The footsteps stopped. A moment later, she heard a faint voice, raspy, pained, and terrifyingly close. "You shouldn't be here." Spinning around, Claire came face to face with a man in a hospital gown. His eyes were hollow, his skin pale and sickly, and his mouth stretched into a grotesque grin. Before she could react, he whispered again, "They see you now." Suddenly, every door in the hallway slammed open, and the rooms spilled out their horrors. Patients, missing limbs crawling toward her, shadowy figures reaching out with elongated arms, faces contorted in agony. The walls seemed to close in as Claire sprinted back toward the elevator. She pounded on the button, praying for the doors to open. Just as the figures closed in around her, the elevator dinged and the doors slid open. She stumbled inside and smashed the close door button. The figures stood motionless in the hallway, their empty eyes staring at her as the doors finally shut. The elevator descended, and when the doors opened again, she was back in the brightly lit lobby of St. Vincent's. Everything looked normal. Shaking, she ran to the security desk and demanded to see the footage from the past hour. The guard, confused but concerned, pulled up the camera feed. The screen showed Claire stepping into the elevator and pressing the button for the ground floor. The doors closed, and she never came out.